The conflict in West Asia has grabbed the global headlines for the last 2 weeks. The worldwide incessant coverage of the conflict has somewhat pushed the Russia-Ukraine war to the fringes of public consciousness. But the war trudges on, one horrific day at a time. The much-touted Ukrainian spring counteroffensive hasn't yielded the results that were desired by the Ukrainians. And now, the Russian troops have launched a major offensive on the strategic eastern Ukrainian city of Avdiivka. Considered a symbol of Ukrainian resistance since 2014, the Ukrainian soldiers defending Avdiivka are now bracing for a massive Russian attack. Our next report gets you more details.
The frontline city of Avdiivka is considered a gateway to Moscow-held Donetsk, the capital of Ukraine's eastern Donbas region. It lies just 15 kilometers from Donetsk and has turned into a major prestige battle. It is a symbol of Ukrainian resistance since 2014, when it had fallen, albeit briefly, to Russian-backed separatists. Although Russia and its proxy forces have occupied Donetsk city since 2014, they have not been able to use its resources as a key military communications hub because of its proximity to the front line. By capturing Avdiivka, the Russian troops could further push the front line. To this objective, dozens of Russian tanks and armored vehicles had advanced on the city on the morning of 10th October. Supported by artillery fire and bombardments from helicopters and planes, but failed to break through. Reportedly, Russia lost at least a battalion tactical group's worth of armored vehicles in offensive operations around Avdiivka. Ukrainian soldiers defending the frontline city are now bracing for another massive attack.
We should expect the second wave of the offensive. We know that the Russians have gathered a huge amount of reserves, both manpower and military equipment. Avdiivka could be massively attacked again. Of course, the Russians can move these reserves to Marinka or Vuhledar, but I think that Avdiivka will be the priority and will be hit.
Built around a huge coke plant, Avdiivka had a pre-war population of around 30,000, which has dwindled to merely 1,600 now. The city centre narrates a tale of destruction as large blocks of buildings have been partially or fully destroyed by daily Russian artillery shelling and a bombing campaign that has continued unhindered since March this year. Of those who remain, they live permanently in basements, and the delivery of humanitarian aid has also been disrupted since October 10.
Due to the mass shelling, the delivery of humanitarian aid has been stopped for some time because volunteers are at great risk of being killed. But those stocks of food, water, medicines, hygiene items that have been accumulated in basements, the military administration has accumulated stocks. There will be enough for a month for sure.
Though the Russian assaults have been mostly foiled and Ukraine still maintains control of the only access road to the city from the north, for how long can they withstand the Russian assault given their inexhaustible human resources?